Royal watchers and citizens alike are once again buzzing with speculation, admiration, and curiosity. The personal decisions of King Frederik X and Queen Mary of Denmark have once again become the center of public discourse, igniting debates that stretch far beyond the polished walls of Amalienborg Palace. As one of Europe's most admired royal couples, every glance, every absence, every solo appearance by either monarch sends ripples across headlines and public sentiment. But what lies beneath the glittering surface of state dinners and balcony appearances? What truths, tensions, and triumphs define the private lives of Denmark's king and queen? From the moment Mary Donaldson, the young Australian lawyer, captured the heart of then-Crown Prince Frederik at the Sydney Olympics in 2000, their love story has been the stuff of modern fairy tales. The commoner-turned-princess, hailed for her elegance, intellect, and unwavering composure, quickly became not just a Danish icon but a global symbol of grace under pressure. Yet, behind that grace lies a woman who has made deeply personal and, at times, controversial decisions, all in the face of royal expectation and centuries-old tradition. Today, Mary is no longer a crown princess. She is queen, a role that comes with unmatched scrutiny and responsibility. And yet, it seems that with each royal engagement, every symbolic gesture, the line between duty and personal autonomy becomes thinner. Much has been said about the Queen's solo initiatives, her advocacy against domestic violence, her fierce commitment to the Mary Foundation, and more recently, her increasingly bold fashion statements that sometimes challenge royal protocol. But beneath these headlines is a deeper truth, that Mary is not simply living a public life. She is navigating a complex identity, a foreign-born queen, a mother of four, a woman with a past and a future shaped by decisions only she and her husband truly understand. King Frederik, for his part, is equally enigmatic. Long known for his love of sports, his down-to-earth personality, and his sometimes melancholic distance from the more rigid aspects of royal life, Frederik is now more visible than ever. But that visibility comes with its own complexities. Recent solo appearances by the king, especially during state visits without Mary, have raised eyebrows. Why is Denmark's beloved queen absent from key events? Is it a scheduling conflict, a deliberate choice, or something deeper within the royal marriage? Sources close to the palace remain tight-lipped, but the absence is impossible to ignore. The images of Frederik shaking hands, delivering speeches, and representing the Danish crown alone have reignited questions about the evolving dynamic between the royal couple. Critics and admirers alike point to the Queen's increased focus on her own agenda, from championing women's rights and social justice issues to attending international summits independently. Some interpret this as a strong, modern woman redefining her royal role. Others whisper about distance growing between Denmark's once inseparable couple. And yet, there is no definitive answer, only glimpses, snapshots, and symbolic silences that fuel an endless cycle of curiosity. What's even more telling is how King Frederik responds to it all. Known for his emotional depth and occasional public vulnerability, Frederik has recently shown signs of a more restrained demeanor. Whether this is a reflection of his new responsibilities as monarch or a result of internal pressures within the royal household remains to be seen. But what is certain is that something has shifted. Those who remember the younger Frederik, adventurous and at times rebellious, now see a man carrying the immense weight of a crown while standing beside, or sometimes apart from, a queen with an unyielding will of her own. The Danish press, while traditionally respectful of the monarchy's privacy, has not ignored the changes. Carefully worded headlines and speculative features point to a narrative of evolution, of a royal couple facing the pressures of modernity, personal belief, and public duty. Queen Mary's decision to continue her initiatives regardless of royal calendar clashes has been praised as inspiring and criticized as selfish. King Frederik's decision to allow, or perhaps support, these moves is equally dissected. But what most fail to acknowledge is the powerful message in these decisions, that their monarchy is not static. It breathes, it evolves, it adapts. This isn't the story of a royal scandal or a palace falling apart. This is the story of two individuals who built a life, a family, under the magnifying glass of the world. Who endured rumors, responsibilities, sacrifices, and moments of triumph. Who raised 4 children, Prince Christian, Princess Isabella, and twins Vincent and Josephine, with a deep commitment to values that transcend titles and thrones. Queen Mary's role as a mother is often overlooked in the shadow of her royal titles. Yet, insiders describe her as hands-on, fiercely protective, and deeply invested in her children's emotional and educational development. She has been seen personally dropping them off at school, attending sports games, and even counseling Christian through the pressures of being next in line. Frederik, too, is said to be a devoted father, but it's Mary who many say holds the family together, even when public duties pull them apart. The Queen's recent absence from key state visits has not diminished her public affection. On the contrary, her appearances, when they do happen, are more powerful than ever. Her fashion choices are bolder. Her speeches are sharper. Her presence is magnetic. It's almost as if, by appearing less, she leaves the public wanting more. And perhaps that's the strategy, not absence, but impact. Palace sources suggest that Queen Mary's decisions are intentional and strategic. They are not acts of rebellion, but of prioritization. She chooses engagements that reflect her passions, her strengths, and her values. She doesn't attend every diplomatic event because she doesn't need to. She is confident in her role, secure in her position, and bold enough to let her work speak louder than her appearances. King Frederik, for his part, is walking a tightrope. As the new monarch, he must balance tradition with transformation. He must support his wife while leading a nation. He must be accessible to his people while protecting the sanctity of his family. And while the media speculates about their decisions and distances, the reality may be far more grounded, a royal couple making personal choices to protect their authenticity in an increasingly performative world. The admiration they still receive from both Denmark and international audiences is rooted in this authenticity. They are not perfect, nor do they pretend to be. They are real, sometimes visibly tired, sometimes joyfully spontaneous, sometimes politically cautious. But they are, above all, human. And that humanity is perhaps their greatest legacy. Their decisions, from Mary's independent initiatives to Frederik's solo responsibilities, are not signs of division, but of mutual trust. In a time when monarchies worldwide are facing existential questions, King Frederik and Queen Mary are showing a different path, one where personal choice, respect, and adaptation are not threats to the crown but essential ingredients for its survival. As the Danish people watch their king and queen navigate this new chapter, one thing is clear: this is not a fairy tale. This is not a flawless monarchy. This is a living, breathing partnership that evolves with time. And it is this complexity, this blend of duty and decision, that keeps the world watching, wondering, and admiring. So as King Frederik and Queen Mary continue to make decisions that stir headlines and spark admiration, the question we must ask is not whether they are drifting apart or staying strong, but whether they are courageously redefining what it means to lead, love, and rule in the 21st century. If you've enjoyed this powerful royal deep dive, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment below. We want to hear what you think. Are Queen Mary and King Frederik quietly setting a new gold standard for modern royalty?